very much. Thank you very important for joining us. This is Gwira Gwira Podcast on Monday, 20th October 2025. We thank the Almighty God for granting us another day to be part and parcel of this day. Surely, we are thankful. Call me jina kubwa jina dogo naweza joni sauti ya nyikani. On the podcast, I have my fellow host. Let's just begin from my right. Yes.
I go by the name Losa Continue. This day, as we said, I want to wish you a happy month.
Thank you very much to our viewers. It's a very bright morning, and I'm glad that you are also enjoying the atmosphere of the Mashujaa Day. I'm very glad to have you today in the morning with us. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very important. I've just been reminded by one of the co-hosts that today is a Mashujaa Day. Now, Luther, I just want to begin to you. You tell us more about the Mashujaa.
History has it that Mashujaa Day was specifically selected to celebrate the who fought for the independence of have heroes Jaramogi, several of them. And yes, on this particular day, we celebrate them and accord them all their appreciation. Because they made us have the freedom of doing our own things.
Thank you. Mr. Ivan, what do you have to say about Mashujaa Day?
Kama inavyosema jina yenyewe ni mashujaa, siku ya mashujaa. Leo ni siku ya mashujaa. Kuna wale ambao waliweza kuipigania nchi ya Kenya kwa njia tofauti tofauti, wakati ambao wakoloni walikuwa wamekuja katika nchi ya Kenya ili kuweza kufanya nini? Ili kuweza kuikomboa na kuweza kuchukua madini yetu na kuweza kuchukua hata uongozi wa nchi ya Kenya. Kuna wale ambao walisimama kidete na wakasema ati liwe liwalo wataweza kuipigania nchi yetu ya Kenya. Ikiwemo tuko na Dedan Kimathi, tuko na marehemu Oginga Odinga, tuko na marehemu Jomo Kenyatta, kuna watu wengi sana ambao waliweza kuipigania nchi ya Kenya. Pia tuko na wale ambao waliweza kuboresha mazingira ya Kenya kama vile kina Wangari Maathai. Kuna yule ambaye aliweza kufariki na aliweza kuzikwa jana ambaye anaitwa Raila Amolo Odinga, ambaye aliweza kuipigania demokrasia na kuweza kuipigania hata Constitution of the Republic of Kenya 2010, ambao sasa hii imeweza kuwapatia wananchi uhuru wa kuzungumza, uhuru wa kufanya mambo tofauti tofauti. Sasa hii kila mwananchi anaweza kupumua kwa sababu ya yale ambao yaliweza kupiganiwa na hawa wakombozi wetu ambao tunawasherehekea siku leo.
Thank you very important from wherever you are watching. This is Gwira Gwira Podcast from YouTube, Gwira Gwira Media, from Facebook and also TikTok. Call me jina kubwa jina dogo naweza Junior sauti ya nyikani. Wishing you happy Mashujaa Day from wherever you are. Now welcome to the show. Just continue commenting there on our YouTube and doing what it makes to make Gwira Gwira Media move from one level to another. Now today we are going to talk about business and innovation. Remember, this podcast, Gwira Gwira Podcast as 003, is a podcast which explores how innovation shapes our world today. Now, with my co-host, we just want to start the beginning about business and innovation. So, my friends, when you hear about business and innovation, what rings in your mind? When you hear about business and innovation, what just rings in your mind?
When we talk about business,
Yeah.
what we can talk about business, literally it is just the selling of goods and services with the main aim of getting profit.
Yeah.
You're selling goods and services with the main aim of getting a profit. But when we talk about innovation, this is coming up with unique ways which makes work much easier for us. Yeah. First, when we talk about innovation, we can innovate something that it already exists, but we make it better. We make it to function in a most better way as compared to how it used to work earlier. Also, when we talk about innovation, it means that we are coming with something new in the environment or in our ecosystem that can help us to solve different challenges that we have. For example, when you talk about telephones, there was once a challenge that people had about communication, because in the olden day, or in the traditional day, people used very difficult methods or very hard methods of communicating. We had like the use of messengers, we had like smoking, we had like using of drums, heating of drums. So it was not that much convenient because it was affected by either the weather, it was also affected by maybe the wild animals, maybe we could interfere with the messengers who are sent to go and do something. But now there is a particular person who came with an idea of the cell phone. The cell phone. Yeah, and so this is an innovation that help make communication very easy in the world of today. So I can just make a call right now and get the person who is in Nairobi. And just make call right now and communicate to someone who is in Ghana or who is in India or even in USA. So these ones are innovations that help make the work easier for us as people who are living in the world today.
Thank you. Madam Newton, do you have anything to add about business and innovation description?
I love the idea that everyone is. I would love to see. When I think of business, and mainly think economic growth or because business mainly empowers financial empowerment, financial growth in a. So the option of having a business is mainly number one, we are improving living standard. Then when we talk of innovation, innovation is now just as Invan has put, improving what already exists so that you meet. So out of innovation, you are able to, this is the current strategy, this is the current trend, this is the current uh, that's among the people. So how can we improve it to be better for us to market? So we improve the gadgets and the things that we're using so that we can cope in the market and also cope, because actually the market, yeah, that's my idea.
So when we are talking about specific businesses here, which are some of the business in our country which are doing well and which you can be able to encourage the youth to be able to start those business? It may be a large business or a small business.
Okay, let me say, I'll always create agribusiness to venture the for agricultural products, flowers, skills, all that. That is, I think that is the best. If not, then you can try keeping hens and all that.
Poultry.
Yeah, the poultry, doing poultry farming. That is another thing. You can also try aquaculture. That is another thing. So I'll always credit, as human beings, we keep every now and then. So the moment you produce food, you are sure you have a ready. There is always a ready market. You're sure your food, your products will never go bad because there is. So how is it innovation important in the market? For instance, the agribusiness. When you think of doing this, there is a way in which you upgrade the items you're using, because you're not the only one doing this, and maybe wherever you are, you're trying it use. But if you are around, let me say, where this for agribusiness, because you won't have added cost. But you can also try greenhouse. Is also another great factor. But my advice is, as long as you can get, as long as you know whether you want to start, whatever, want to venture, whatever section because actually when we were growing up, there is this thing called some was a very rare kind of furnishing. But right now, if you like gypsum, that is another trend. And if your church does not have, or people are adjusting so that they can also have that because it got some appealing. It gives some appealing to the site, and it also creates that mood. I think it's beautiful. It gives a beautiful scenery. That is what I can. So these are the new trends. This is now the innovation because somebody sat and instead of us, why don't we add some? Why don't we add some fluorescent? So it brings the color, the coloring that very beautiful.
Yeah, even what you have to
Exactly.
say.
So what Luther Conchella said is very key. Yeah. Like she just give it a number of businesses that we can involve it or we can venture into. Now also I would like to add something like she has talked about food production actually, and she has connected that with agribusiness. So also when we come to the field of clothes, no, people dress every day. People dress every day. And for you to keep someone buying clothes each and every day, then you must be having some tastes on that cloth. Yeah, we have got different people who do printing of t-shirts. Just have a t-shirt, then you write beautiful words. So you write something smart in that, that like things that usually trend. Huh? Kenya yetu, Komboa Kenya, I don't know what, things that are current affairs. People usually like putting on these outfits. Now, when we have got a certain tailor known as Johannes Polo Spoke. That's got a company for a tailoring company known as Polo Spoke. Now, he is someone who has done fashion and design. He understands how to make these clothes look very much attractive and very much appealing to the eye. So he keeps on adding some tastes to these clothes, and so these ones make people have the urge to keep buying and buying these clothes from him. So it's because of a matter of creativity and even innovation that makes all of these clothes sell very well. Also, when we come to even our houses, when we come to the construction to the construction sites, we usually have got even different types of iron sheets. There's a time when we had the colorless iron sheets. Nowadays we have different iron sheets of different colors. We have red, we have black, we have green, we have blue, and of different qualities and different designs. Yeah, so this one keeps people very much attracted. When we come to even when we come to she had already said gypsum. Even when you look at how a house is being designed, there are a lot of innovation that make people to keep on designing and designing houses better. Now, when we talk about business and innovation, these are things that when we tie them together, then we can really have very good living standards because our products will always keep selling and selling and selling each and every day.
So remember, you have talked about one of the business about agribusiness, where you include yourself according to agriculture. Remember, some of the youths when they were in school, uh, picking agriculture is one of our subjects. They could just oppose agriculture and maybe mention it is odd guys rule, and maybe go to business, home science, uh, more about computer because of ICT. So some of the youths lack the skills about agriculture. Where can these people be able to acquire these skills about the agriculture so that they can be able to begin it? Remember, without the skills, running some things like agriculture, you can be able to get a great loss to the farms. You have to understand this is the type of fertilizer I'm going to use to these farms. This is the type of chemical I'm going to apply. This is the type of house I'm going to make so that I can be able to keep maybe the ants we are talking, the poultry we are talking about. So where can these people be able to acquire these skills?
We usually have got a lot of agricultural shows and exhibition different places. And I believe that the Ministry of Agriculture is working tirelessly to ensure that youth gets into agriculture. Now, all that I can say is that just as you have said, someone cannot just venture into something without doing proper research on it. Yeah, like for example, when you want to get into poultry farming, you must know how do you run a poultry farm? What are some of the the feeds that that this poultry takes? What are some of the ways that we can help treat them? What are some of the diseases that may affect them? And how do I identify that this chick is affected by this and this one is affected by this? So you have to go through a proper training first. And so I usually believe that when one want to start a business or agriculture, this is a particular person who has to visit maybe a particular place where the same business is taking place, or the same production is taking place. For example, in the case of poultry farming, just go and visit a poultry farm. Yeah, and then you can go ask questions about how do we do this, 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 how do we do this. Then from that you'll be able to collect and gather a lot of information that can help you start your small poultry farm. So with time you will all keep on improving and improving this your poultry farm and make it to the best place that you wish to be. Yeah, so that's the first thing. You have to do that research so that you can be able to continue with the production or that business so well.
Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for continuing watching. This is Gwira Gwira Podcast at YouTube, Facebook, Gwira Gwira Media, TikTok, Gwira Gwira Media. Continue following, continue following. On the table, if it is the time you have just woken up, we are discussing about business and innovation. And Luther, do you have something to add concerning that?
I think what I can say to be,
Yeah.
if you are lucky enough to grow up and do the little farming that they could have, can grow maize, the basic one, maize and beef. But there are some soils or groundnuts, all that, and you grew up seeing your parents. So basically, you have some skill. But are you interested? That is not. Are you interested? Of course, this is another field. If we are okay, yes. I'm one of the people who did take geography, but I'll always enjoy doing garden work because actually production of food is called. We don't produce food. There is not. How are we going to eat? How are we going to save this? You see, it becomes a different. So I think number one, you should be interested. That is the first. And you should be committed to it. That's the only time you should enjoy. When we come to matters regarding food, I think there are let me say these small groups that they come together. That this they proceed and there is also where you can get the cheat. So I think going there, doing your research and inquiring on how you can go ahead with it, start and go ahead with how you can get is a good idea. For something like poultry, for instance, you want to start, there are this type of groups, and sometimes some of them are even and they guide people on how to start. And there is also evaluation. So they help you. How do you back then, not more than 5 years, my grandmom started working. Yeah, but all the challenges in the society, that is a common challenge. That is where everything went haywire. But I think it was a great idea. This family, there is a problem. This is the kind of this is the kind of down you need to give, need to keep all that. So you are guided on how you can handle this. But the problem is, that's why I'm saying the big question, the commitment and interest.
Exactly.
So maybe when we are talking about business and innovation, specifically about innovation, remember, innovation goes hand in hand with the technology. So you cannot be able to pronounce about innovation and leave technology behind. So how has this innovation, how has technology created impact on innovation to business?
Today we have talked much about poultry farming, and I tend to believe that our viewers today, most of them are willing to to venture into poultry farming.
Yeah.
Now, I want also to connect technology to poultry farming. Like when we have, we usually have got different machines made by the technology, like the hatchers. Those ones which are used to hatch eggs. They are used to hatch eggs. So just put eggs there, and then after some days, the eggs get hatched, and we get the chicks out of that. So the head doesn't need to go and maybe cover the eggs for the 21 days in order to produce the no, or to brood to do the brooding so that the chicks can get out of the eggs. So that is one of the technological innovations that help us in our businesses. Also, we have got different machines that has nowadays helped to make work very easier for us. Like when we have the tiles nowadays, when you want to cut the tiles, we have got machines that helps to cut the tiles in a very designed way as it is required. We have got a lot of innovation, just as Dr. Conchella will add, and these ones help us to make or to bring a lot of change in our businesses and our areas of work.
I'll say that innovation comes. So the first thing, one thing that stimulates innovation. So the moment you are creative, for instance, when you're talking of textile industry, venture into market. So how do you your thread? How do you brand yourself? How do you brand your company? How do you market your? So this is one thing that will bring your customer. So being creative is another. Getting yourself a brand. Being creative will earn your brand. How do you package your thing? Maybe a client has asked, yes, you are done with the job that maybe you're done with it, and now all the details are done. But now you decide this plain, this cloth is so plain. What if I added some detail, just to give it some touch of elegance? So you add some details to it, and when doing the delivery or when the client comes to pick his or her product, the packaging is also well. Let me tell you, you'll pull the crowd to you. You'll pull the market for. You see. So I think creativity and how branding is also part of it. So again, when we talk of innovation, we are talking of agribusiness. You look at the current in the current state, I don't know, maybe people still be using gender, but in most cases I'm seeing that currently use truck to do the digging, and now you only remain to do the planting. Even after planting, you have to do irrigation. There is the rotating. Those are just ways of doing it. Unlike when you were doing it back then, you had to work with a can to plant. So there is so much improvement, which I can credit.
So thank you very much. Thank you for watching from wherever you are. This is Gwira Gwira Podcast. Keep on following from YouTube, from Facebook, from TikTok, and also IG. Call me jina kubwa jina dogo, naweza jina sauti ya nyikani. Tuweze kupatana katika kipindi cha Burudika Show pande wa usiku. Thank you.